Hello, Hofstra fans. My name is Rachel Vogel, and today I'm joined by head women's basketball coach Danielle Santos Atkinson for this week's edition of the WB Mason Coaches Report. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. Well, Coach, didn't go the way you wanted against Fairfield this past weekend, dropping that home opener. But I think the Pride showed a lot of tenacity and grit during that contest. Fairfield, making a lot of threes, but Hofstra never let up during that game. So let's start off this conversation, just going a little bit over that game and what you were saying to your team being down and then coming back a little bit in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, obviously we don't want to keep putting ourselves in that position. And so we do find a way to fight back when our back's against the wall. They really have the ability to come out swinging, which we've done in the last two games. But what we are really trying to work on and get across to them is let's not put ourselves in that position. Let's not put ourselves in a situation where we have to fight so hard to come back, and then we don't have control over how much time's left in the game, or there's things that we just unable to control when it gets that out of hand. And so for us, I really was glad of the way they continued to fight all the way to the end, and being able to press and create some opportunities offensively for us on that end and force some turnovers. But as you said, with them shooting and shooting 29 threes, and then making 17 of them, it's really tough to beat a team that makes 17 threes. They shot the ball extremely well versus us this past weekend. And that's something that as a whole, as a team defensively, we've got to go back and look at and evaluate how we allowed them to get off that many threes, and then the fact that they were comfortable enough and that wide open enough to hit so many.
And then, Coach, watching the game, you mentioned the press in the fourth quarter. Hofstra really came alive during that press, forced a lot of turnovers, went on a 12-0 run. So speak of what the strategy was during that press, and how you were able to come back during that.
Yeah, we have the ability and the athleticism to be able to press on our team, and it's something we want to be able to use a bit more. We haven't had a lot of practices where we've worked on it, and so to be able to go to it early, I was hesitant. And then again, when we put ourselves in a situation to where we don't have control over as much as we'd like to have control over, we were forced to go into the press. And so I think it's something that, as we saw, that they can do really well. We have the athleticism and the length to be able to do it. Jayla does a great job up front, being able to cause some havoc. And with Jakayla Brown with her, they provide a really big trap. And so again, something that we've been working on in practice and want to continue to get better at, and something that we look to use throughout the season.
And then let's talk once again this week about your transfers who really stepped up this week. Deshani hitting double figures for her third straight game, and Jayla recording her double-double. How do you see them improving and continuing to get better throughout the season?
For sure. Again, we have the ability and we have the people on our team that can create scoring opportunities and that can score the ball. And so we've got to continue to work on our offensive flow and our offensive system, and how we all work together, share the ball, and the type of shots that we're getting. And so that's what we're going to continue to work on. That's the growth that I see for us throughout these next few weeks, is offensively, how do we work together offensively to get the best shot opportunities. Really proud of the way Jayla played. She never lacked energy, and her effort was on the entire game. Her double-double is something that she's capable of. She's a great rebounder. She pursues the ball. She's got a nose for the ball. And so when it goes up, she's going after it on the offensive end and the defensive end. And she could average 10 rebounds plus a game. And so that's something that we're going to need from her and her to continue to do. She stayed aggressive offensively, which we need from her. And she really worked to get great shot opportunities. And I think when she did that and she was able to shoot great shots, she would made more shots and had the confidence then to continue to look to score.
And then the next game coming up, Albany on Friday, should be another great contest for the Pride, maybe another advantage since Albany, hasn't played a game yet due to COVID. But what are you working on this week to prepare for that game?
We've got to work on us. And so again, Albany's got a few new players that they're bringing in. They've got some transfers as well. They're returning 3 starters, but they've lost some of their inside presence that they had. And so it'll be interesting, again, to see what type of team they are. And so with them not having played a game this year and not knowing exactly what they have been, what they're going to do, what they've changed philosophically, offensively and defensively, we're really making this week about us. And so we've got to continue to work on the things that we need to work on offensively in terms of our flow and how we work together, and defensively being able to stay aggressive without fouling and continuing to create offensive opportunities from our defense.
And then, Coach, it does feel like we just started, but at the same time, following the conclusion of this week, we'll be more than halfway through non-conference schedule with, only 3 games remaining until the calendar year turns. So how is the team doing? How is the team fighting, any tiredness or the finals we mentioned last week? How are they staying motivated through this time?
Yeah, as you said, we've just started. And so we're only 3 games in. We've been waiting all year long to get out on the floor and to compete. And so I think tired right now for us has got to be the last thing on our minds. We're just grateful for the opportunity to be able to come out here and play. And we never know when that is going to be taken from us. And so I think for us, we've got our sights set on how we can continue to get better and be really much improved going into January, starting conference play. And so we're continuing to work really hard. We're continuing to get after it every day in practice. Now that finals are over, that's a weight off of our shoulders, and we've got some time and some free time to really dive in and work on their games individually, and then also the things that we need to work on the floor, as well as being able to spend some time together. We've talked about during this COVID time, it's been tough. You don't get to spend a lot of time together. You don't get to do some of the things that you would normally do in a different year and different circumstances. So we're hoping now during this time, during this holiday season, that we're able to do a little bit more of that and spread some positive cheer.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, once again, I wish you the best of luck this Friday. Fans, you wish you could be there, but unfortunately, tune in live on Flow Hoops, live video, live stats will all be available. And Coach, once again, good luck, and thank you for taking the time with me today.
Thank you.